Hi there, it's Jennifer, and today I'm here to do a tag video. I was tagged by Donna, who has a channel called Donna's Creations. I will link her channel in the space below, so you can check that out if you're interested. Thanks for tagging me, Donna. This is a little bit different kind of a tag. Normally tags are, well, they can be challenges, and you tag someone else to do a challenge. Most of the time, the ones that I have seen are ones where there's a series of questions you answer. This one isn't questions, it's just 21 random facts. And random facts about me, things that you may not know. Some of these things you may have heard me talk about in other videos, but yeah, so I brainstormed a list of 21 random facts. My husband helped me to brainstorm some of these things too, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So, okay, first of all, an interesting fact about me is that I am related to two people who signed the Declaration of Independence. On my dad's side, we're related to Benjamin Franklin, and on my mom's side, we're related to a man named George Reed. I think his name's George. He was a like Congress person, whatever. So yeah, we are related to two people in that. So another thing that's maybe an interesting fact is that I've always wanted to, not serious enough that I'm gonna go pursue this, but I have always thought it would be really cool to go with storm chasers to chase tornadoes. I've never wanted to go out with people who were adrenaline junkies who just want to get video to put up on YouTube. I've wanted to go out there with people who have a vested interest in surviving. So like with scientists, and see all the cool equipment they have, and I don't know, I just think that would be, I just think it would be a cool experience. I'm pretty sure I'll never do it, but I've just always thought that would be cool. And some people say, you know, they'd love to do skydiving. I have no interest in that, but chasing tornadoes sounds like it would be fun. Scary, but fun. Okay, another random fact about me is that, well, I've mentioned this in another tag video that one of my very favorite movies is The Princess Bride. But the interesting fact is that I read the book, The Princess Bride, about 8 years before it became a movie. A lot of people don't even know it was a book. And if you like that movie, you have to read the book. It is equally as funny, and the movie was not changed too terribly much from the book. The author's just a great writer, and I laughed and laughed at this book. I had a boyfriend in college who read it and said, you need to read this book. And so I'm kind of proud of the fact that I read the book long before that movie came out. All right, a pet peeve of mine, my biggest pet peeve, and I have mentioned this in a tag video before, but I hate being tapped. When I was a classroom teacher for 12 years, and I had little kids coming up to me all the time, tapping me, tapping me, tapping me. If I was talking to somebody else and they're doing this, it just makes me crazy. And I would say to my little kids on the first day of school, just so you know, I hate to be tapped, and I cannot be held responsible for what I will do to you if you tap me. And I would just say, please just lay your hand on my arm, and when I'm finished talking to someone else, I'd be happy to talk to you. The funny thing about that is then I went and married a drummer who, he's not as bad about it after being married to me for 19 years, but he would tap me a lot. And one time I remember he had his arm around me, and I said to him, what song's going through your head? And he goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, you're playing it on my arm. So you just tap it. I hate being tapped. Okay. And I'm sorry about this, you guys. I can hardly go through these without telling a story of just about everyone, so try not to be too bad about it. But okay, next random fact is that I have a side business. I teach at a university, and I teach people to be teachers. But on the side, I have a business. I'm a freelance writer, and I write teacher idea books. So I've been doing that for 18 years now. So another thing, it may not be a surprise to all of you because I have a series on this right now on long distance walking, but I am a long distance walker, and I have done, well, to date, I've done 19 half marathons and 4 full marathons. But by the end of this coming weekend where I'm filming this, on the 8th of August, I will have done my 20th half marathon, and in January I'm doing my full my fifth full marathon as a walker. Okay, the next thing is I love Disney. My husband and I both love Disney. Yeah, we like to go. We don't go to Disney all the time. We don't go every year. We live in Arizona, so it's not like it's right down the street or anything. We don't just go over to Disneyland and stay for a couple of days. We go for a week, and we're going to be doing that this fall. So yeah, we just love everything Disney. Yeah, and we're weird because we don't have kids, so we just go, just us. I know. Okay, so here's another one. I don't know how to phrase this without sounding really ridiculous. I don't like taking showers. It's not that I don't actually like the experience of taking a shower, and it's not that I would prefer to take a bath over a shower. My biggest thing is that it is such a pain to do my hair. My hair is curly, and if I were to cut my hair, I wouldn't be able to straighten it out, and it would look ridiculous. It would just, be this curly thing all over if I cut it short. If I let it go and I don't try to dry it, I have ringlets under here, then I have more curl here, and the top layer is just scraggly. So I can't just let it go. I have to use a big fat blow dryer. I have to use a big fat round brush and a blow dryer to straighten it out, and then who knows what it's gonna turn out like. My hair never looks the same 2 days in a row. If you ever see a video, like 2 videos where my hair looks the same, even if I'm in a different shirt, you can bet I filmed it on the same day. That I just, filmed it and put on another shirt and filmed another. So my hair never looks the same from day to day. So to me, just having to take a shower means that after taking a shower, I'm just gonna have to dry this hair. Ugh. So I don't like that. I do like the process of taking a shower, like do scrubs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess the thought of taking a shower means I'm gonna have all this time to have to do my hair. All right. So let's see. Another thing that I don't like is sleeping. I feel like it's a waste of time. I don't like to sleep in. I need sleep. It's not like I'm one of those people who only survives on 4 hours of sleep. I absolutely need sleep. And I try to get 8 hours of sleep every night. But I just have so many things that I want to do that I feel like it's a waste of my time. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing. I like to clean bathrooms. Now, not that I want to go down the street and clean everybody's bathroom on my street. Not that. But I like to clean bathrooms more than other things in the house because when you have to go and clean a bathroom, usually things have gotten dull and there's like water splats on things and stuff. And when you finish cleaning a bathroom, everything is so shiny and it just looks like you've really accomplished something. So yeah, there you go. All right, another thing is that I knit. Yeah, I've just in the past probably year and a half, I've gotten into knitting a whole lot more. I'm also a singer. I used to play guitar and sing in a couple of bars when I was in college, and now I sing in a worship band at my church. Okay, now my career path is that I'm an educator. I was a classroom teacher for 12 years. I've been at the university teaching people how to be teachers. I've been doing that for 12 years. And, but if I had to choose, if I had to go back and do it all over again and choose something other than education, because I'm glad I'm an educator, I wouldn't trade a thing. I have loved this career path that I have. But if I had to go back and do it all over again and choose a different career path, I would be a veterinarian. All right, another fact about me is that I spent a summer in Mexico when I was in my 20s. It was kind of a mission sort of thing. I was working with a group called Partners in Christ International. We went down and just did different projects. I worked at an orphanage for part of the time. I helped build churches. I spent a lot of time dirty and hot and sweaty and sleeping in hotel rooms with no air conditioning and staring up at the ceiling and seeing big old daddy long legs spiders right above me. Yeah, it wasn't so bad when you saw the spiders. What was really not so good is when you'd lay there at night and realize the spider wasn't there. Like, where is it? So it was a great experience though, very fun, really great cultural experience for me. So yeah, it was really great. All right, another thing is that I like to play word games. So I like Words with Friends, and it used to be called Scramble with Friends. Now I think it's called Word Streak. So yeah, I like to play word games. I also I'm not a complete and total video game freak. I do play video games, and the kind I like are called time management video games. So there's this particular series. In fact, I haven't played video games in a while because I'm waiting for this next game in the series to come out. There is a series of games called Delicious, and Emily is the main character, and she's a cook, and she owns restaurants, and there are these challenges, things you have to do really, really fast. And so I love that. So yeah, oh, there's another one called Royal Envoy that is also a time management video game that I like to play. So yes, I'm 51 and I like to play video games. Okay, another fact is that I prefer water to pretty much any other kind of beverage. Yeah, not a soda drinker. I mean, it's not like I hate it or anything like that, but I just don't really drink soda, don't drink juice that much. Iced tea's okay, but I really do prefer water to other things. In terms of soda, I do not like root beer. Do not like it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of soda, but if there was a Coke and I was thirsty and there was nothing else to drink, I would drink a Coke, Sprite, Mountain Dew, orange soda, any of that. It's not like I hate those things, but root beer, if I was thirsty, I would pass up the root beer. So, okay, another thing is that I have a fairly large collection of children's books. Of course, I was a classroom teacher, as you know, and so I used a lot of children's books to teach skills to my kids, and I just have fun reading books to kids in my college classes because I teach people how to teach kids to read. So in those literacy classes I share a lot of children's books, and so I stay up on really good new children's books, and so I have a pretty good collection of children's books. And kind of along the same lines as that is that I really enjoy reading juvenile fiction and young adult fiction. Yeah, there's just some really good stories out there, and I think that they're not all like juvenile kind of topics. I mean, some have pretty heavy topics in them, but they're clean, and they also move pretty quickly because they gotta hold the attention of a younger reader. So I'm gonna take a moment here and tell you about some of my favorites, and you should read them because they don't take long to read. You can sit down and finish a lot of them in like 45 minutes. But let me think. Okay, first of all, maybe you've seen the movie of this, which kind of spoils the whole thing for you. But The Giver by Lois Lowry, such a good book. And yeah, if you have not read that, especially if you haven't seen the movie, you need to read The Giver. It's not very thick of a book. Another one, and I can't think of the author on this one, is a book called Black Duck, and it's about the rum running trade and these two adolescent boys who kind of find themselves accidentally in the middle of these rum runners who are criminally transporting rum back in the days of Prohibition, and because they get involved in this situation accidentally, now they're the target for bad people, and so yeah, very exciting. The next one is the author, I think the last name is O'Brien. The book is Z for Zachariah. And this is a suspenseful book, boy, and a really good one. So it is about this girl whose family they've got a farm, a small farm, and they live kind of in this valley area, kind of surrounded by mountains. And she's about 16, I think. And her family all goes into town one day, or goes in to get supplies, and it was a ways away. And so she was stayed at home alone. And while her family was gone, there was a nuclear attack, and nuclear fallout killed off everything except the area where her farm was. Because of the way the mountains were positioned, where they were in the valley, it didn't fall on that. So she survived, her farm animals survived, all the plant life survived, but there were two streams running through the farm. One of them had live fish and fresh water and all that, and the other one, everything in it was dead. So, definitely had nuclear stuff in it. So she, she thinks her family is dead, which they never really tell us, but I think they were. So here she is all alone, and she's just having to survive and on her own, living on this little farm. Well, then a few weeks down the road, she's looking off into the distance, out into the part she doesn't want to go out to because she'd probably die if she went out there. And she sees a person walking along in like a spacesuit. And then the person sees where she is and recognizes that the trees on the farm are not dead, and so he starts heading her way. And shows up, and he decides he wants to take that farm from her. And so it's just really suspenseful. And yeah, just a great book. I can't tell you anymore. All right, and the last one I'm going to tell you about is another, this is probably more of a young adult fiction book. It's by Sarah Weeks, and it's called So Be It, but it's spelled S-O-B.it, like it was someone's name with a middle initial. This one is a really good book. Of course, all of these, I'm telling you, are really good books. This one starts out, it's got an 11-year-old girl, and she lives in an apartment with her very severely cognitively impaired mother. She's so impaired that she has very few words that she can say, words or phrases. A lot of them are words that she says that are unintelligible, like "soof" is one of them that she says, but she always calls herself So Be It. And so what happened was, how this thing started out is that their next door neighbor is agoraphobic, so she's afraid to go outside. And one day, years and years before, 11 years before, she hears this baby just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying in the apartment next door. Well, she's afraid to go outside, so she doesn't go out of her apartment and knock on their door. There was a panel that separated their two apartments, and she took the panel out and crawled into the apartment. And what she found was this mother, the one who was cognitively impaired, curled up in a fetal position on the floor of her kitchen, and a newborn baby just laying on the kitchen floor screaming. So she comes into the picture and helps this mother raise her baby. So at the start of the story, this little baby is now 11 years old, and she's got questions. She doesn't know that she has any other family. She doesn't know who her father is. She doesn't know if she has any grandparents. Nothing. She knows nothing about where she came from, and her mother, of course, can't communicate that to her. Well, one day she's looking through a box of pictures, and she finds a picture of her mother when she was younger, standing next to a woman who looks very much like her mother, so that would be her grandmother, and they're in front of a big house that has a sign outside of it that's some kind of a home for adults who have impairments. So because she has a name of that house, she figures she can find some answers, and this little 11-year-old girl goes out on a journey to find out who she is, and it's just fascinating. So if you want a quick read, any of those books would be great, and that made this video really long. So that is 20 things, and my last thing is that I very easily get motion sick. I get car sick in a parking lot. If I'm driving, I don't, but if I'm in the passenger seat and we're going around looking for a parking spot, I get car sick. If I'm in a back seat, forget it. Yeah, so on a cruise, I never even took the chance. I just put one of those patches, that you get for behind your ear. They work brilliantly. I'll never go on a cruise without those. But yeah, I just get car sick. Yeah, those are my 21 things. So if you are interested in doing this video, if you have a channel and you want to do this, it's just 21 random facts that you tell us about, and I'd love to hear about that. So if you decide to do this this tag, then please let me know, because I'd love to come over and watch it. If you have any interesting facts about yourself that you'd like to share, please feel free to comment in the space below. Love to hear about that. And thanks for watching, you guys. I hope I'll see you again. Bye-bye.